Well, this is Thursday, and this is July the 16th, according to my camera here, which I finally got fixed because I couldn't get in the setup, so I reflashed the firmware. And this is an SJ4000, which is a GoPro lookalike. The difference is it doesn't have quite the fanciness of all the GoPro stuff, and obviously doesn't have that huge price. You can pick these up for as low as, we'll say, 60 bucks or so. This one happens to have Wi-Fi, but it also has a monitor on the back, which the GoPro, at least the model that I've looked at, didn't have at the time. So I like that particular add-on for me. So we're down here at the preacher's yard, and we're going to take a look at these hives. These two hives that you see right here immediately came from my backyard. They were swarms this past June. I had 3 swarms out of my yard hives, my home hives, and of those 3 swarms, I got 2 of the 3. The other one was too high. You can see all these little wonderful little insects that get in the lid. I always knock them out by throwing the lid on the ground. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Sometimes you can't. I've got this camera pretty close. It's about 18 inches away from the hive opening here. So let's see what we got in here. Well, when I was here last time, this box had a good ways to go. I was force feeding this hive sugar syrup to build it up before what we call the summer flow. Beginning of summer. Now this one has, you can see them, they got some hatching drone cells here, and over here laid some more drone eggs. So eventually, hopefully, this will be converted to nectar. Smoker's bugging me because it's wind's blowing the wrong direction, so we'll put it down on the ground on the other side. I think the queen's probably still up here because this is actually part of her. Yeah. So here's her brood area. The other frame, there's a little cell here. I call these emergency cells. There's nothing in them. They keep them around. I just take them off some of the time, not all of the time. Here's the other side, so there's brood on both sides. When the flow picks up, generally what happens is when those drone cells and brood hatch out, if there's not another box on here, then they'll fill that with nectar. That limits the queen's laying, so it's not necessarily a good thing. Depends upon how you look at it. And this is all filled with nectar or syrup. In this case, it's probably more likely syrup because I'm feeding this hive. one of these hives, and I can't remember which one, has a tank in the bottom. If it's this one, we'll go ahead and fill it. If not, we'll go to the next one. It's not this one. The reason the queen is in this one is probably because she's laying on the top, is because the laying space is a little limited. They'll work that out for themselves. So, we're not going to do any more with this one. Huh? Nope, you didn't see. My wife's in the truck and she's asking me if I saw some queen cells. Nope, no queen cell, just an emergency cell. So, we'll come back and put another box on this if I can find one. The problem is I got everything on my hives now, box-wise. There's a big one here, a big hive that you can't see, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 mediums and 1 deep on it. That's in addition to the deep where the brood box is. So, I'm going to put them back together again. And then we'll get on to the next one, and I'll reposition the camera. Okay, that's that. I'm going to move the camera. Okay, that's hopefully still running. That was hive 1. This is going to be hive 2. Give them a little puff of smoke. And we're moving over to the right. Second swarm hive. So now we're going to open this up and see what we got here. This is a migratory cover. There's no inner cover when you use these. And you'll get a look at that. That's what they look like. Okay. I put my covers on the ground upside down, and they become a platform for the supers if I want to move them off so I can look underneath. And I will do that on this one because it's the one that has the feeder under here in the deep, and I want to fill that. So we're going to take a look at this one, see if we've got any brood going. There's brood in here and brood in the other side, the larvae I should say. Well, probably some eggs too. This one you'll see the brood on. I would guess there's not a big flow going on right now. About due for beans to come in and bloom. So here's the pattern, and it's all pretty normal. So there's brood on this one. There's brood here. See, there's brood over here. We'll just take a little movement here. There's a little brood on that one. So she's centralized on the brood in the medium here. So that's okay. Now the one below here is the deep, and we're going to just fill this with syrup. I'm trying to build these up. I really don't care about the crop. So I keep the syrup frame tanks here, which is a gallon tank. Sorry about the movement. Just checking to make sure it was still recording. But your tank is right there. this is a 1-to-1 syrup, and has 21 essential amino acids in it. If I'm in the way, I apologize, but I don't want to get this in right spot and all over the bottom of the hive. Attracts other things I don't like. Okay, there we go, and they are hungry for that. That foaming you see is just a little bit from the pouring. Yeah, I'm going to go take a look just for the fun of it, see what we see in the middle frame here. Give them a little smoke to get them off the top of the frames. That's what we look like here, and when you see this, it kind of has the impression that it's scattered, but what you can't see is what I'm looking at, and all of those cells that are empty there in your picture, they're all filled with eggs and the very early stages of the larva. Okay, so that means the queen has just recently done that. As long as I see an indication that everything's pretty much hunky-dory, looking as it should, and they're behaving normally and not unnecessarily vicious or aggressive, then you don't really have to find the queen every time you get in the hive. It's just a waste of time, and it messes with their home. So everything looks as it should. Put this back on. Each of these hives need to be super. Each one needs a new one. Everything's good, squared up. And we'll put this back on without the bees all over it. The propolis will all end up in the same place as long as you center it the way it was before. And it's nice and tight. Probably doesn't even need one of these bands, but hey, judging from some of the storms we've had recently, never say never. Okay. Just got over a recent thing. That's 3 storms. Lost a plum tree. Had about 300-400 plums on it. We've salvaged most of those. We'll have to plant a new one. And we lost the top canopy of our gazebo. Almost lost 16 by 26 sunsetter awning, but the good Lord was good to us, and we were able to get that back in working order and straightened up. So now we're on to the big boy. So I'm going to tap this so we can see we're still on, and we are. So we're going to go to the big hive here. So I'm going to put this on the other side because I'm going to work from the stump, which you see there. Okay. This is sitting on an old tree that was chopped up and pulled over here. I'm going to have to raise this up now. I am going to... Okay, we're recording, and hopefully I get these bricks off here, we'll be able to see something. This is a hive that's already given 60 pounds of honey, one full deep. It had another shallow, medium I could have taken off, but I didn't. So I know it's got at least that much more on it. And I think this high will probably give us close to 200 this year if it works out right. And we have to make sure we leave some to them. So, you get them some smoke, we'll give them a little more smoke. To get my smoker a little pumped up. Okay, now we're going to take this lid off and see what we got. I'm using these birdseed 25-pound bags. And you can use these bags like you see here. They're actually breathable, and the bees really like them. I use them inside the inner cover, underneath the inner cover, and you can leave one side down like you see there, and then move the outer one back like this, and then just work on the side you want to work on. It's not quite as invasive. They don't seem to mind the noise of rolling it back, which is interesting. So let's see what we got here. Looks like they've just started putting some stuff in here. Looks like a little bit of nectar. Certainly prophylized it plenty. This has got considerably more in it. And about the same here. So I'd say this super here probably has maybe 10 pounds in it if you're lucky. Okay, so they're actually working this stack all the way to the top, but there's not a lot of bees in here right now, so let me just lift this and get a real idea how heavy it is. Well, actually, no, it's about right, about 10 pounds. And I'm working from the front of this hive, which you're not supposed to do, but you can do it. You just have to move aside every once in a while to let the bees in if there's a lot behind you. Get back up out of their way and take a look. Well, this is interesting. Now this whole super, just with one look, is absolutely. I have spacers in these boxes. These are all 9. All my honey supers are 9 frame. My brood boxes, my deeps, are usually 10. That gives them a chance to draw the comb out further, so it's easier to decap. This outside frame, I'm not quite to it yet. Here's a little trick you could do to kind of speed it up for them. Bees like to centralize things. They like it to stack in the center. This frame is full. If you move it 1 or 2 frames over, they'll fill it up quicker, and it cuts their travel time. And sometimes if you have an opening in the front of your, next to the top or top box in your honey super, that also does the same. They'll come to that and enter there when they have their load of nectar, rather than go all the way to the bottom and come up to the top through the inside, which saves them time. Now, this inside frame here, they're already working on, so I'll just move it over anyways. That'll make it easier. So next time I come by in a week or 2, this will all be full, and the one on top will probably be full also. This one is starting to show the signs of capping, as it starts to move the wax from outside of each cell toward the center. Okay, so this I say is probably a good 40 pounds already, so maybe they'll overfill it a bit, which would be nice. The one underneath it was full, and the one underneath that was full the last time I was here, so I'm going to just let this go till sometime in August, I think. At that time, most of your summer clothes will be pretty much drawn to an eye, to clothes, and it'll be time to start the fall things like goldenrod before that much time. So we put this one on, which I almost forgot to do. Happens when you get busy yakking instead of paying attention to business. Okay, that's on top, and her cover's back on. And then your lid's on. And we'll put our bricks back on. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm going to move the camera, and I'm going to turn it off.